Lebanon area seniors. It's Rebecca with the Lebanon Senior Center again, wishing you a happy Tuesday morning. I'm really excited that you could join us here, get a little exercise in to start your day. Hope you're having a good last day of June. Can you believe it? Already the last day of June, half the year has rolled by, and we are going to be starting July tomorrow. Ooh. We do have some exciting news for you. July 6th, we are going to start doing some small programs at the Senior Center. That you do have to reserve a space due to social distancing requirements and some of the other new policies that have to be in place. The doors to the building will remain locked. So if I don't know you're coming, I'm not letting you in. Sorry, guys, that's just the way the cookie crumbles right now. But we will be holding chair chi in small groups. We're looking to hold it outside so we can better control the social distancing on the big front lawn. And if you're joining us here online and aren't ready to come back out and join us at the Senior Center, don't worry, we're not taking away Chair Chi. You, of course, have the videos on the YouTube channel, Lebanon, Oregon Senior Center. So you can look at past videos, but we're also going to continue, knock on wood, got to reach for it, knock on wood, to offer them as a hybrid class. So we will have a maximum of 10 people with us, and then we'll also be recording them and streaming them like we are now. If we can't stream it live, that's our goal. If we can't figure out the technology in order to be able to do that outside, we will be recording it and then uploading it following the class. So it'll be streamed on YouTube, not quite live, but right after. So that'll be exciting in July when we get to do that. We'll be doing that for both the Chair Chi and the strength class on Thursday mornings. The time will be changing a little bit. So instead of meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning, since I have to get down to the office and, since we're going to have people coming in, not everybody likes the 8 o'clock first thing in the morning time. So we are going to be shifting it to a 9 o'clock class, give people an extra hour to get down to the building for those that sign up to join us in person. And masks aren't required for exercise classes. We don't want anybody to have breathing issue. You are certainly welcome to wear a mask if you feel that that would be appropriate for you. We just want you to be careful when exercising. Make sure you're getting enough airflow in your body while you're exercising. But again, that's the importance of making sure we have that social distancing in place and being outside, letting that airflow really help keep us from breathing on each other at this time. So those are some updates for you. The newsletter will be coming out. Hopefully we'll be getting those printed today and in the mail, so you'll have that information for next week. It will have the links and information for the online portion of the class. So without further ado, let's get started talking about breathing. I guess we should do some. So let's do a deep breath in and out. Another one in, out, in. Really filling up all of your lungs. Top to bottom. Really pushing out with your belly when you push that air out. Good job. Let's bring those hands together in front of us. Your morning salutation up. I'm going to do it this way. Going up and bringing it down and to the front and coming back. Up again. Let's bring it back down. Let's do that just again. It's feeling a really good stretch on the shoulders this morning. Just waking them up and coming up. Break those hands coming down and around. Good job. Bring your hands back together, palms facing each other. We're going to push a hand to one side, a nice angle. We're going to flex all the soft tissues, the tendons and ligaments in our wrists. If you push over on your fingertips, you're going to start stretching out all the way from your wrists to your fingers. All those little pieces of your body that help hold you together, work together. Hopefully chase any of the arthritis that might be feeling a little achy this morning away. And of course, we stretch one direction and we're going to stretch the opposite. Push the hand back, push the other fingers over, stretch out the other hand and wrist. Very good. All right, with those fingers back up in the air, we're going to twist our palms for still face to face. We're just pivoting. That's the word I'm looking for. So fingers are facing right to left. Slide down a little bit, link the fingers together and pull. You'll feel this pull across your forearms and into your shoulders. Pretend you're trying to pull your fingers apart, but don't actually do that. If we were sitting in class, we'd make the joke, don't smack your neighbors because you pulled too hard. And of course, I forgot to turn off my radio this morning, so that's okay. So if you hear the static in the background, my sincere apologies. All right, we're doing really good with that stretch. All right, and we did switch hands there in the middle. Bring our hands down to our sides. Let's go ahead and let our head come forward to our chest. Just let gravity hold on to it. Give it a nice gentle pull. When you're ready, we're going to rotate to one side. Slowly rotate back. Breathing in, going one direction. Breathing out, coming back. All right, as you come to the center, go ahead and lift your head back up and let it fall to one side. Kind of feeling lopsided this morning. If you want a little extra resistance, you can set your hand on your head. We're not pulling. Don't try to pull on your head. Just let your hand sit up there and be a little extra weight, letting gravity use that to help pull and stretch out your neck just a little bit. And head back upright. And other hand on the head. Ooh, look, I'm trying to pull. Here I say don't pull, and then I look like I'm pulling. Relax your head over the side. And again, if you want that little extra weight on your head for a little extra gravitational stretch here, just set your hand on there. Your head just relax and stretch to the side. That neck, just feel it. All right, and the hand can come off the head, and the head can come back up to a neutral spot. All right, let's warm up the shoulders a little bit more. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Just a couple, just really start working out the kinks of the system this morning, right? Yeah, feels so good sometimes just to stretch those shoulders. I admittedly tend to sleep on mine wrong. I do. I'm a squirmy worm at night, and me and my pillow go a couple of rounds. All right. Okay. And you can do one at a time. You can do them forwards, you can do them backwards. Just loosen up those shoulders. Doing great. All right. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to start with my right arm. I'm going to cross it across my body. Reach up with my elbow and pull it in. Really start stretching out that shoulder a little more intensely now that it's warmed up. If you haven't got a pat on the back for getting up and showing up to an exercise class this early in the morning, pat yourself on the shoulder for being here. And we'll let that arm relax back down. And of course, what we do to one side, we got to do to the other. Reach the other arm across and hug it in. That side gets some applause for showing up too. If we only showed up half of you today, we'd have more questions. All right, doing really good. All right, put those back to your side. We're not done crossing our body though. So we are going to reach across this time instead of going to shoulder, opposite hand, opposite knee. Okay. And keeping that posture straight, we're going to twist. I like to use the back of my chair to get a little more leverage, deepen my twist. Right. Relax back to the front. Good job. And again, should do to one side, we got to go do to the other. And release back to the front. Woo, good job. Okay, so now we got to work down to our legs. So we're going to go ahead and stretch one leg out. I'm stretching my right leg out. I know you can't see it. I'm kind of cut off because I can't scoot back too far. But we are going to stretch that right leg out. You can have your toes pointed. You can have your ankle 90-degree angle, whichever you're comfortable with. If you're a little balanced, if you're a little challenged in that department, you can use your left leg. Keep it at a nice 90-degree angle. Use it to rest. I won't say really rest, but to kind of make sure you're in control of your balance, because we're going to lean forward, heading for those toes, giving ourselves a nice stretch. So when you're ready, we're going to reach out, heading down for those toes. If you didn't say good morning to your toes when you put your socks on this morning, or maybe you don't have socks on yet this morning, so you can really say hi to your toes. Maybe you find some cat hair on your pant leg you decide you need to pick off. There you go. Nice stretch. Just really reaching over your leg. If you can only get to your shin, you're doing great. If you can get to your ankle, that's awesome. You can get all the way down to those toes. Oh, just really relax into it. Don't hold your breath. Even when you're bent in half, keep that breathing happening. Oxygenate your blood and your brain. And those muscles that you're stretching out. Everything needs that oxygen when you're exercising. Feels so good to stretch sometimes. All right. Doing really great. And you can slowly work your way back up. Take a nice deep breath. Sorry, hair got caught in my headset. It was tickling like nobody's business. All right, we did the right leg, so now we're going to switch to the left. The left leg is going to stretch out in front of us. And we're going to slowly start reaching down that left leg. Again, if you only get to your knee or your shin, that's okay. We all start somewhere. You're doing great because you showed up, because you're even stretching that far today, right? Get down to your ankle or your toes. You are doing an amazing job. Big kudos. Way to Help take care of your body so it can take care of you. Excellent. Now slowly, nice deep breath in, work your way back up. Good job. All right. When we're sitting back up, we're going to continue to work on our lower extremities just a little bit here. This time we're going to start stretching out our ankles and our calf muscles. So I'm using my hands to demonstrate what's happening off camera. So my feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to be stretching up onto my toes. All right, so lifting those heels off the ground. Come up on those toes. You kind of look like you're rocking out in a rocking chair. But we're not done yet, right? We're just getting warmed up. That's what retirement can feel for a lot of seniors. Have some say they're busier now in retirement than they ever were when they were working. All right. Coming up on those toes, really starting to lift that heel off the ground. As you're doing that, you can start squeezing that calf muscle just a little bit, just let it get good and warm. And then you can start squeezing a little more intensely. You just don't want to start off being super intense because your calves can fight back. You don't want to get a Charlie horse while you're working out. That wouldn't be very fun. All right, let's lift up one more time up on those toes. Give it a really nice stretch. Oh, and back to the ground. Good job. So I'm going to scoop my feet forward about an inch or two. Instead of going up on the toes, I'm going to rock back on my heel. So moving our feet forward lets us get that leverage to really start lifting those toes in the air. Think about really trying to stretch them backwards as if you're trying to touch your shin with your toes. You'll still start feeling this one all the way up to the front of your legs, just above the knee. All those different muscle groups and soft tissues working together to give you that motion. All right, as I said, you're just doing really well. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always nice to know there's a group participating. All right, last one. Let's really get a stretch in there. Really try to pull those toes back. All right, and slowly lower them back to the ground. Good job. All right, so we're moving on to our next exercise. We have some bent leg lifts. So with our knees, we're kind of at 90 degrees or as close as you can get. Some of us are not as tall as other people. So sitting in a chair, our knees aren't exactly at a 90-degree angle, but we pretend, right? Okay, so with a knee bent, we're going to gently just lift that foot up off the floor and gently set it back down. You want to do this as quiet as possible and gently as possible so that you can stealthily sneak up on someone. No, we joke and sometimes call this our ninja practice. So when we're at the senior center, we got the linoleum floor. So some shoes make more noise than others. So people are challenged to try to not make a sound with their shoes on the floor. That way they're in control of the leg as it comes up and as it goes down. Think about controlling those muscles as you're lifting that leg. Good job. Let's do one more each side. One. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and bring our feet together. We're going to relax our knees apart. We were sitting on the floor. A lot of times it's thought of in yoga as a butterfly pose. So, yeah, feet are together, knees are pushed apart, using our palms to push our knees apart. Just really stretching out hips and the pelvic floor. Not everyone feels a big stretch here. But some of our seniors who've had hip replacements or injuries, they definitely can feel this one a little bit. Just really is a good moment to stretch out these large connecting pieces of our bodies. It's also a good time to take a nice deep breath in. All right, what's the opposite of this one? Well, we bring our knees back together and we move our ankles apart. Looks a little bit like you're doing the Charleston or the Watusi, I don't know, some fun dance. So our ankles are further apart than our hips, and we're trying to push our knees together. With your knees, think about trying to hold a stress ball or a tennis ball or something between your knees, and you're really just trying to hold on to it. You don't want to drop that ball on the floor. It's a contest, right? Just really think about squeezing that imaginary ball together. Oh, hold on to it. All right, you're about to drop it? Okay, you can let it go. All right. Woo. And we're going to do one more thing with these legs here before we work our way back to some more bigger body movements. We are going to stretch that right leg out in front of us again. Good job. We are going to do our straight leg lifts. The seniors loving to refer to them as anti-gravity leg lifts. The things that make these super challenging is once we get that leg in the air, we're going to really work on not letting it touch the floor again until we're done with the exercise. So you're really working the resistance of holding that leg in the air as you work up, and slowly lower the leg back toward the floor, but not touching, and then immediately bringing it back up again. Okay, it keeps the muscles engaged the front and back of the leg. You'll find out. You might, if it's your first time joining us, these are ones you might want to take it easy. Don't stick with us the whole time. Just do some, see how you're feeling later. You can always do more next time, but we do want you to be able to get off the couch later and do other things you need to do today. All right, so as I said, I'm starting with my right leg. You can have your toes pointed. You can have your foot at a 90-degree angle with your ankle, whichever is comfortable for you. I tend to be a toe pointer. Nice straight leg, and when you're ready, I'm going to show you, kind of demonstrate what my leg is doing with my arm. Again, my leg's down there. You can't necessarily see the whole thing. Coming up, lowering but not touching the floor, lifting it back up toward the floor, back up. Job. Slowly lowering into the floor. There you go. Excellent. Bringing that foot back under my knee so it becomes the anchor that gives me my balance. And we're going to switch to the left. Sometimes you might need to readjust in your chair just a little bit. I always seem to. All right. With your left leg, we're going to repeat that exercise again. Coming up off the floor, slowly lowering it back down, but not touching the floor, and immediately bringing it back up again. When you're ready, up off the ground, lowering And back up. Lowering. Up. How you doing? Keep breathing. Let's do one more. Up and slowly, 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 slowly back to the ground. Good job. You can bring that leg back in. You can shake them out if you need to, if they got a little stressed or a little rub. Tell them good job. They served us well. All right, from here, we're going to get our chi. Chi is the energy force in Eastern exercises where our energy comes from. So they believe it comes from the core. We're going to hold that in our hands and we're going to carefully start twisting. Trying to keep that posture straight, just twisting side to side. We're in class. I tell everyone to show off their energy to their neighbor. Some people have a little energy. Some people have a lot of energy. You can decide where you're at today. And you can start rotating that ball in your hands. Connecting your breathing with your motion. And this time as we come across, we're going to pause when we get to the side. Top hand's going to sweep down. I got to avoid the cord. Brush the knees. Pivot the hand and bring it up. Other hand sweeping across and overhead. Brushing past the hand, past the knees, and back up. This is brushing wild horse's mane. So we're brushing that big long mane of hair, picking up another handful, reaching back across, brushing it out again. And keep working your way through that herd. Every one of those horses needs a little TLC in our herd of wild horses. As your hand comes across, this time we're going to freeze in place. That top hand's going to sit up perpendicular to the bottom hand, and it's going to start leading that horse to water. I did not like that first watering hole, so it got to keep leading here. Going from place to place. Got to find that perfect watering hole to take care of our horses. You know, and being the last day of June, I'm looking outside and it looks pretty cloudy. You might need to start chasing some of those clouds away. Push them to the side. If you want that sunny day, you've got to help the sky earn it. Of course, you know, if you're a gardener, you might like those clouds to add a little water to your garden so you don't have to. Pushing those clouds away. Excellent. Good job. All right, let's bring those hands back down. Excellent. All right, we're not done with that storytelling yet. I tell you, these headphones really don't work with long hair. There we go. So if you, let's see, what are we doing? I'm trying to do a time check, 32 after. Okay, we've got some time here. Let's go ahead and show me some big bear claws. Grrr. Yeah, good job. Yeah. I don't know. You look like a menacing cub, but that's all right. Get fierce if you can. Fierce, hungry bear. And you're getting in that cold river, that cold lake, and you just really need to go for a swim because you got to find some fish. You are super hungry, super cranky. You're hangry, hungry, angry. Rotating the shoulders. And if you're right here, if you're, puppy paddling, that's all right. As you loosen up, you might get a little bit bigger. Or as you get stronger, the weeks of doing chair chi, you might get bigger motions and can really be a big bear that attacks that water. If you're a fisherman out on that water and you see bears showing up to go fishing too, you might decide you need to find a different watering hole. Gonna grab the oars of your boat. Start sneaking out of there. Big row. So we're pulling those oars up, rotating our shoulders back. Think about trying to pinch the shoulder blades in back. Really just trying to make as much distance between ourselves and those bears with as quiet an effort as possible. I like to rock forward a little bit, get my back, my core engaged a little bit. There you go. Looking great. Make sure you're breathing. All right, and you've hit shore. You can put those oars down because now you're home and you get to enjoy a walk in your beautiful and lovely orchard. You're renowned for how tall and beautiful the trees are in your orchard because you take really good care. You rake up all the leaves, you hug all the trees. So when it comes time to harvest, what are we harvesting today? How about let's harvest a lemon? Let's go start with some citrus fruit. Harvest those lemons. They're such an abundant harvest. You can share all the excess with family and friends who say thank you by giving you another tree to plant. So I've got my foot off the floor and I'm hovering above the floor with my foot as I move it in a circular motion. And I set my foot back down. We plant the gift of that tree, and in our lovely orchard, because it's so well taken care of right before our eyes, it grows up so big and so tall. Another super tall tree because we love and take care of it and tend that tree. And it's ready to harvest. How about some grapefruit? I don't know we've ever harvested grapefruit in class. We've got excess grapefruit to share with other of our friends, our seniors. And man, they gave you another tree to plant in your orchard. They're betting on you to grow that tree so big, so tall. And it does. It gets big and tall because you're taking really, really good care of that tree. You have a very green thumb. And of course, that means now, apricots. Apricots are ready for a harvest. So let's harvest those apricots. Share them with family and friends. So good. And again, they decide, well, we need to say thank you. And they give you another tree to plant in your orchard. And it grows big and tall right before your eyes because you're taking really good care of it. So just ready to harvest already. You guys get to tell me what it is. I don't know what we're harvesting. Hopefully it was good. You come up with a yummy, tasty favorite fruit or nut or anything that grows on a tree? So we shared that harvest, and once again, family and friends generously have given us another tree to plant. And it's going to grow big and tall because that's what they do here. Nurtured and cared for. Oh, what did we pick? Good old nectarine. Luscious and sweet nectarines, so yummy. My family would be very appreciative to have fresh nectarines. Oh, we love nectarines. All right. And we're planting another gift of another tree that grows big and tall. Because we take such good care of it and rake those leaves and use them to mulch so that we can harvest. Oh, let's do a nut. A hazelnut. Filbert. Whichever vernacular you're going to use. And indeed, we are given another tree to plant in the ground, but this time it is going to wait for us to plant or to see what it turns into next week. Whew, it works hard working in an orchard. Sometimes it's just very exhausting. You have to go to the spa. So there's a part of our cool down. We do a little self massage. We stretch, but we also encourage the circulation that we started in exercise all the way out to our skin. Super important membrane that helps protect us, our first line of defense against so much in the outside world. And just working our way down our face now. You can tap, you can rub, you can knead, whichever feels good to you in your body. I'll get you one side when I have a microphone on. All right, and work your way down your neck to your collarbone. Again, you get to do that stretch from earlier, reaching across our body, pull that elbow in. This time, instead of just holding your hand there, you can reach back there with your fingers. You can knead out any knots in your shoulder. Work your way down your arm and back up. And we do this twice. And when we're done with that arm, well, it's got a job to do. It's got to come over and get the other side. Really pull that shoulder in. Work out any of those knots. You're done working out those knots. You can start working down your arm. Good job. And back up. And back to the collarbone. Whew. Working your way down to your sides. You can even do a little tummy rub. Hey, if it's good enough for your cat and dog, those intestines are important. They know what they're doing. All right, and I'm going to start with stretching out my right leg, and my right leg's down in front of me. And we're going to run it out down our leg too. So I'm doing a nice circular motion. Again, you can knead, pat, or rub. I kind of do a combo rub and polish here. Working down the outside of my leg. Working back up the inside of the leg. And again, doing it twice. And if you really want to treat yourself, those knees do a lot of work. So I stop at the knee a little bit and give it just a little extra rub. And then I'm going to bring that leg back in. Switch into my left leg. Same process, different leg. Going down the outside and back up the inside. Feels so good, you do it twice. Stopping at that knee again. Excuse me. A little hiccup. Bring that foot in. You're doing really great. And then we always conclude with some breathing exercises. We start with breathing, we end with breathing. It's just so important. Want to make sure everything's nice and oxygenated and you feel fresh when you leave class. Also important to exercise those lungs. So we do some controlled breathing. So we do the deep breaths that we did at the beginning of class, and then we switch it up just a little bit. I use an analogy of blowing up a balloon. You usually do that in stages, and we also let air out of our balloon in stages. So I'm going to emphasize a lot with my hands. Feel free to follow along the best you can. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. One more. Now we're going to blow ourselves up like a balloon. Three breaths in and out. One more, 3 breaths in and out. Now the reverse of that one is we're going to do a deep breath in and let it out in 3 increments. So deep breath in, out. When you get to that last breath, you really want to push out any extra air in your lungs. Really good. 3 deep breaths. Last one. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us in another edition of Chair Chi with the Lebanon Senior Center. I hope you guys have a really great rest of your Tuesday, last day of June. You guys have a great time. Maybe I need to stay dry. And everyone have a safe 4th of July weekend coming up. Be very careful if you're going out in public. Watch the hygiene practices, wash those hands, keep socially distant, wear a face covering in public so that we can all see each other again soon, healthy and ready to have fun and live our best life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.